Alright guys, back to Boom TV, man. One more episode here, sitting with the one and only Enshiloh out of Colorado. What's up, homeboy? How you doing?
What's up? Pretty good, how are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I heard you got a little buzz kind of picking up a little bit.
Yeah,
and
we're starting to get something going.
yeah, and when I heard about you, I was like, man, I gotta talk to this cat and see what's going down, because I know one of your somebody involved in your label, EQ.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your label.
So EQ, he pretty much runs the label, La Familia Music Group. They're based in Montrose, but yeah, we just released an EP through them.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a lot more coming.
How long have you been working with La Familia?
So just recently, probably the beginning of this year, I want to say.
Okay.
We talked about it in previous years, about me going over and doing stuff with them, but this year he hit me up and yeah, we just talked about it. And
did you always feel like when he hit you up the first time, did you feel like you were ready?
I felt like I was ready, but I just wasn't sure how we were going to go about things. And I think the time that we had between him talking to me about it and talking to me about it again was good, because he was able to get everything kind of set up. He has the studio and stuff now, the merch store, so he got a lot of things in place before he actually approached me again, so it was nice to see.
Yeah, he's a hustler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a hustler. He got his ducks in a row, and then he came and hit you up and said, hey man, we're ready to start making some moves. Have you recorded up there in Montrose?
Yeah, I've recorded, actually recorded a song like a week or two ago. I want to say a week ago.
Is that your first song that you recorded up there?
Yeah, one of the first ones. Because I had been out there, we talked and played music, but since I'm out in Junction, it's kind of hard, not hard, but just that drive, it's hard to make.
Yeah,
and then with work and stuff, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Colorado hip-hop artist coming up, man. Tell us a little bit about your name.
So in Enshiloh, my middle name is actually Shiloh. So I used to go by my actual name. I stopped doing that just because it's hard to pronounce. And
what's your actual name?
So it's Hasiel Serrano.
Hasiel?
Yeah, so I was going by that for a while, but it's just spelt out kind of weird and hard to get people to say right and stuff.
Right.
So I was like, let me go with something a little more simple, but I still wanted to kind of incorporate my name, I guess. So I went with Shiloh.
That has that Latino swing.
Yeah. So the first part of it is N, and the second part is Shiloh, Shiloh is Hebrew, but it means peace. So I was like, okay, I'll be at peace. I guess. So.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about a little bit more about the songs that I was able to pull up on YouTube, and our hopefully our audience will be able to check it out. And your music does have this like peaceful kind of vibe to it, which is cool. So it makes complete sense. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I was born and raised in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
Yep. My dad, he's actually from here, born and raised too. My mom, she's actually from Michoacan, Mexico.
Okay.
So I go down to Mexico all the time, go to Michoacan, see my family. But, yeah.
And I was watching one of your podcasts, the podcast that you did with another homeboy here in Grand Junction.
Yeah.
And you were in that podcast. You were talking about how you grew up a little bit in the church, right? Or
your
family is part of that. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I'm actually a pastor's kid. My parents, they're both pastors at a Hispanic church. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Growing up, I was involved in that. I played the drums for them and stuff.
You?
So yeah.
So you were doing music within the church.
Yeah. That's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of how I started with my music, because my dad, he got me like drum lessons. So he was like, "Do you want to play the drums for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Right on, dude.
So I started doing that, and just from there, I just kind of fell in love with music and like making music, because at that point, I hadn't really been listening to like a lot of like secular music, like normal music, I guess. So everything I knew was kind of like gospel and like church music. So I came up on that, and then once I started hearing like stuff on the radio, like hip hop and stuff, I was like, ooh, let me listen to this.
What was the first hip hop tracks that you listened to that
Bro,
you're like, yo,
honestly,
that blew my mind. I need to get involved with that.
There are so many, just like growing up, just stuff from like back in the day from like Nelly and like 50 Cent, stuff like that. My cousin, he listened to a lot of Eminem. What's their name? I don't know, a whole bunch of different people, but I remember specifically, I would turn up to like Soulja Boy, like Crank That.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Right.
And I don't know. Every now and then I'd find different things, but I'd never really kind of know the name just because I'd listen to it on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'd have to like shut it off because I didn't want my parents hearing like.
So now that you're doing music and your parents and you know, because I listen to your music and and I haven't listened to your whole catalog, but the things that I've listened to they're legit. Like if like you know like if I was concerned that my mom might judge like or you know what I'm saying, your music it's meaningful and it says like it's powerful, but it's not like grimy. It doesn't have that grimy edge to it. How do your parents kind of react to your style of music?
For sure. So I don't know. My parents, I'm not really sure that they even listen to anything I put out just because they kind of, not that they don't want to support it, but they just, I don't know, the church and like that.
Are they
kind of
pretty
like,
heavy into the church?
Yeah, they're very dedicated, very strong in what they believe. So I don't blame them for that, but yeah.
But do you think that your music is against any beliefs that they might
I
have?
personally don't think so, and like I don't know. I'm comfortable in like my relationship with God and all that.
Right.
So I don't really see it as a negative thing. I know they might be concerned just because like hip hop and rap, they're kind of.
It might be a generational thing.
Yeah, and they kind of have like a stigma towards it, which I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of what it talks about isn't like necessarily Christian, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think that affects anything really, but they might feel a certain type of way about it, which I can't blame them. But yeah,
maybe they don't know what you're doing, man. They're probably like, he's over there talking about sip and serve, crazy stuff, and you're not.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they've listened to some of my stuff, and for the most part, they like it. I remember. One time my dad, he was talking to my sister just low-key about one of the songs I had put out like years ago. And in one of the parts, it says something that sounds close to like the F word. And he was like, yeah, I really like the song, but I didn't like that part. And I was like, I didn't even say that, but yeah, I don't know. So
he thought maybe you did?
Yeah, he thought I said something that I didn't, but now I'm kind of more comfortable with like, I'm kind of saying what I'm saying, and I'm not.
Do you ever like use cuss words in your songs?
So I try to stay away from it as much as possible. Like I'm sure in the future I will, just to like, I don't know. Curse words are kind of like, they're like seasoning, I don't know. So I'm like, I don't want to.
Exclamation point sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to.
If you overuse them, then they lose their meaning.
Yeah, I don't want to overuse it and make it to where like if you turn my song on and like at like a family function or something, like you kind of have to shut it off because it's not like, I guess appropriate, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting more comfortable with kind of pushing things a little more, not being so clean cut necessarily, but still kind of keeping in mind that like I want everyone to be able to kind of turn up to my music. I don't want to turn people away from that just because I choose to use certain words. So, yeah.
I think it's a delicate balance, and but I think that if you're smart and if you're clever, you don't have to use foul language. You can say everything that you want to say, and you can be like really assertive with your thoughts without using those certain words, because it's like I think a lot of artists, they don't. I don't know. I think everybody just kind of reacts different to it. But some people, like you listen to their music. Like, think about this, like. You know, you're at grandma's house or whatever, and you're like listening to your music, and then you're like, oh man, here comes this part. And then you listen to it, you're like, man, I didn't need to say that.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
I would encourage you to follow what your heart says. Don't do what just because you feel like it's going to really make more of an impact. Your music's going to make more of an impact if you use certain types of language. So, but in your progression, as you become more of a seasoned artist, you'll find your voice, and you'll be like, you know what, I don't need to do that, you know, or maybe you will, you know. Yeah,
and I don't know, I've always kind of looked at it that way, like, not necessarily that it's like lazy writing to just like throw a bunch of curse words in, but it is easier to kind of just throw that in, so I don't know, I like challenging myself and kind of.
You might find that it's more of a challenge not to.
Yeah.
And if it's good, this is crazy, man, because there's some tracks out there that I've listened to, and if it's good, you can get through the whole track and be like, man, that was a dope track. And then you're like, man, there was no curse words in that song. You're like, oh, for real? I didn't even, oh, man. Because it has your mind going in all these different places as art. Because good art just takes you to these places that makes you think, you know, in these different, and then you're not even really thinking about, like, that. So, So, maybe not using that language might push you to be more of a complete artist.
For sure.
You'll find your way, big bro. I know you will.
Yes, sir.
So, going back to, you know, you had your family and, you know, your folks, you know, they support your music, and maybe they're just kind of, maybe they'll come around.
I'm sure they'll come around eventually.
And, you know, they might just need to listen to it a little bit, like, man, this is actually pretty good. But, you know, another, it's generational too, you know. They might be older and they're just like, I don't really like that kind of music. Even though my kid's doing it, it's just not my thing. They could just be proud of you, you know, from the sideline. That's cool too.
Yes, sir.
Kind of related to that culturally, you're Mexicano, right?
Mexicano, yep.
So how is that in because there's a lot of Mexicanos that are killing it in rap music right now, and I think that generally people say that hip hop is a black art form, but if you really, you know, it depends on where you're at, but hip hop is a Latino and a black art form. It's a minority art form for sure, you know, but you know, you got to give props to the Puerto Ricans, you got to give props to the Mexicanos, you got to give props to the Chicanos. And these guys have been doing rap music. I mean, think about Kid Frost, man. He's been doing that since the 80s, right? So it's a brown art form. So as a Mexicano, how does that kind of how do you connect that with your culture and your art together? Do you?
For sure.
In your music?
I try to. I definitely try to, you know, represent, show who I am, you know, my roots. But I don't know. I always want to pay homage to, like, you know, people that started it and all that. Pay respect. But
do you ever use Spanglish?
Spanglish, I've tried it in the past. I think I'm definitely going to get into more, like, using Spanish in my lyrics and whatnot. Just to kind of put that more out front. But yeah, I've messed around with it. I've messed around with writing in Spanish.
That's cool. And it's like, you know, with the community, the Latino community, whenever they hear that, it's like they really, you find that they'll connect to that, like, oh, all right. He's like, all right. And it's for some reason it just connects. I think it's, you know, I think language is a connecting value. Culturally, but like through people, like we all communicate through language, and you know, you might just say one thing and it's just like you just won somebody's heart. And that's what music's about, you know. It's like it's just like touching them with your words, right? The connections. All right, man. So I listened to Jester, which is a dope track, and I also listened to Pisces.
Hey, I woke up this morning, felt like I'm important. New state of mind, positivity pouring. You live your life, but mine will not be boring. Tired of being concerned about conforming.
They have kind of a real chill, kind of similar kind of feel. What genre or what type of rap would you say that probably is? Or that, I'm not saying that I know like your whole catalog, but those two songs are the ones that I was able to really bump. And what are those?
I don't necessarily know what I'd label them as. Maybe like lo-fi hip hop / I don't know.
I could dig that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of more lo-fi.
Who does your beats? Do you do beats? Or?
So I go through a few different people. One guy that I've been using that produced both Jester, Pisces, and a song off the EP Hypnosis. His name is Stoic. He goes by Stoic, but I use a lot of his stuff.
Is he around here? Or?
No, he's not local. I think he's in LA right now, but yeah, I go through him for a lot of my beats just because, I don't know, his production style is very, very interesting and not...
It just connects to you?
It connects with me, and I don't know, I kind of like how unorthodox it is. But yeah, another person that I've been working with a lot, he produced Natural off the EP. He goes by TZ now, but yeah, he makes some hard stuff, and he's actually local. We've been working a lot. And
Well, shout him out. Like, what's it? How do you TZ?
TZ, yeah, I don't think he has a page set up.
Is it
TZ.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been working with him for the last few months.
You're gonna be probably working with him in the future.
Yeah, we're gonna be working a lot. We have a lot of stuff
Does
coming.
he do like that lo-fi?
He does all sorts of things, man.
he?
But yeah, Natural off the EP, that's what he produced, and we have a few more bangers on the way we're working on. So
you're talking about the EP, and
Yeah.
I don't know if we were talking about it on camera or if we were talking about it off camera.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with La Familia Music Group,
yeah.
you guys had just finished the EP.
Yeah, we just released it yesterday. Yep.
All right, and
Yeah.
today is the 19th.
19th.
June
yes, sir.
19th.
Yep.
All right, and you guys released it on the 18th. How do people find that?
So you can find it on all platforms. It's the name of the EP is Fictional Scenery. You can find that on all platforms. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music probably, YouTube, all that.
Right. And say the name of that again.
Fictional Scenery.
Fictional Scenery.
Fictional Scenery by Enshiloh. Yeah.
All right. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll
Oh, yeah.
probably put the text on the video too, so
All right,
they
for
can
sure.
go peep that, man. I want to check it out for sure.
Oh yeah.
So you were talking about like coming up. You mentioned Nelly, and you mentioned Soulja Boy, and that's a certain generation. You know what I mean? Like I've interviewed guys that are like everybody just has their
Yeah.
jams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you were to go back, or if you were to kind of look into your mind and say,
Yeah.
all right, what is your top 5?
My top 5 artists?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know that's hard, but
that's hard,
if
but
you can give me 3, just give me 3. But if
I don't
you
know
got
that.
5,
Yeah. Let's do 3. I don't know
All
that
right.
I can put them in like, they're not in order.
All right,
But
that's
one
fair.
person that's definitely influenced me like a lot in my music, just growing up and even now. Mac Miller for sure.
Okay, yeah.
And then let's see who else. When I was younger, I was coming up on Kanye for sure.
Kanye's dope, yeah.
Kanye. Let's see who else.
Mac Miller, Kanye.
I don't know. I remember when I was really young, Jay-Z. He was.
Oh man, Jay-Z's one of the all-time greats.
I'd say Jay-Z just because that's kind of what got me invested in hip hop and actually diving deeper into it rather than just kind of listening to it on the radio
Yeah.
every now and then.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Jay's influence,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
inspired so many young rappers.
Oh yeah. But yeah.
Who you feeling right now? Like who's like on your
Let's see.
radar right now as far as like
Let's
really
see.
feeling?
There's a lot of people that are coming up now. One person I always listen to a lot now is Tyler. A lot of Tyler, the Creator.
Tyler Creator? Yeah.
Of course, Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, he hasn't dropped anything in a while, but listen to a lot of Kendrick. Let's see, newer people. There's a guy out of Denver. He's based in Denver, but his name is Voda Fuji. I love his music. So,
You mentioned that in the podcast,
yeah.
and they put is it spell it? Can you spell that?
Voda Fuji. It's Voda Fuji, like the water.
Fuji.
Fuji.
Yeah. Voda Fuji. I'll put a link in there.
But yeah, I really mess with his stuff. He's very.
And he's out of Denver.
Yeah, he's out of Denver.
Right
Yeah, he's
on.
very talented. Very versatile too. Who else? There's a lot of people in Arizona that I like listening to a lot too. They have an entire scene down there, but this guy that goes by Pariah Pete.
Pariah Pete.
Yeah. Jalopy Bungus, Saya.
These are the underground.
Just-
You like underground?
Yeah. Just people that are kind of coming up, getting their
Yeah.
start, but they're starting to make moves. I know I mentioned hyperpop in the past too. I like Eric DOA. I think that's what he goes by. But yeah, I like his music, and then just I don't know, my style, kind of what I listen to is very kind of all over the place.
Mhm.
Nothing very set.
eclectic,
think of
a
those.
little bit of everything.
Yeah, and then just random like indie jams that I'll like find on Spotify. Like I'll just be going through like my Discover Weekly
Yeah.
and just random stuff through there. But
So when you're
That's kinda
writing
what I've been
tracks and
jamming.
you're writing songs, what's
Yeah.
your, do you have like a certain method? Like, do you just
So-
vibe with the beat and then,
Yeah.
or do you write your lyrics first?
So a lot of times what I'll do, sometimes I'll be feeling just like writing out lyrics just without a beat, just writing to write. But a lot of times I'll like find beats that I find very interesting and I feel like, I don't know, draw out an emotion from me, I guess,
Mhm.
like a feeling, and I'll kind of go from there. A lot of times, I don't know, my favorite stuff is when I'm just chilling, I'll be listening to something and something just kind of comes out like,
Or you just drive in and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh man, I gotta
Yeah.
pull over,
Yeah,
type
yeah.
this out or whatever.
yeah, and I've been trying to get better about it, but anytime I have like an idea or something, I'll just take my phone out and record it or,
Record like
Just
a
some-
voice.
yeah,
Recording,
something just
yeah.
to remember
Yeah.
what I was feeling or kind of the idea that I had at that moment.
Oh.
But yeah,
It's good to be able to capture that.
so,
Yeah, dude, because everybody has kind of their own way. I was
Mm-hmm.
curious about that when you were talking about drumming, because I was talking with
Yeah, yeah.
Kua. I did his interview last weekend, and we were talking about how lyrics, and he raps a lot different than you do, because
Yeah, yeah.
you're kind of more flowy,
Mhm.
and it's cool because you have this like soulful kind of like, I don't know, it's like air, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
Kua is very like ba-ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So it's like he raps. He was saying that he kind of does a drum line. Like,
Oh, okay.
Right, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he kind of gets this like rhythm, and then he puts the words to the rhythm.
Okay, yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So that's like, so I was wondering with you, and I know
Yeah.
you don't, but like I said, I don't know your catalog. But if how you come up with your lyrics and the cadence and the way that you
Yeah, so I definitely, growing up, that's kind of the style I came up on, like Tech 9, fast rapping,
Okay.
all that. It's kind of what I was going for at the beginning.
did you
and
find
that
that,
was-
drums helped
Yeah,
you?
I definitely found that drums helped me just for like the rhythm of things or
Mhm.
like, I don't know, just the way words sound kind of like on the beat, I guess, and like
Right.
the cadence of everything. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I've definitely heard it described like that before.
Yeah. Because lyrics are,
my homie
the
was telling me that
cadence
the
of
other day,
lyrics is
so-
almost like drums with
Yeah,
words,
yeah.
you know?
It's like percussion. Yeah, yeah.
You know, it can be,
Yeah,
but I think that you can get stuck. I hear artists that do that, and then I hear artists that don't. Like when I
Yeah.
listen to Pisces, it's like I don't hear drums.
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
in your, and it's really like when I listen to like Juice World.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like I don't hear drums. I hear melody.
yeah.
And then he's just saying this stuff, and it's just
Yeah.
like wow, and it's just
Very melodic.
it evokes so much emotion.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just different, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I think that's why we have like so many different kind of artists, because
Yeah.
you got to have some of that,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you got to have some of this, and that's what
Yeah.
makes the world a beautiful place.
Oh yeah,
right?
and I definitely like my more like drum sounding, I guess, like very bar on bar, kind of like technical music too. But yeah, I've definitely been kind of doing more
Did you-
chill stuff.
More chill stuff. Did
Yeah.
you used to do more?
Yeah, that was kind of what I was into.
Yeah. Did you used to rap fast?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't know. I have a few videos. I don't think they're up anywhere anymore, but I know on SoundCloud I have a few songs that are more kind of like that, and I've kind of gone away from that a little bit more just because I don't know. I'm just trying different things,
Cool.
but I definitely enjoy that.
Just like we were talking about a little bit off camera, is like as you evolve, you kind of find
Yeah.
your voice and you find what works
Oh, yeah.
for you, and what you're doing now, you really have a cool opportunity to really put so much like meaning and emotion into like what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
It's just really palatable to be able to like take in, to draw in what you're putting down. Where sometimes words are like, man, that sounds cool, and I'm impressed that he's rapping so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm more impressed than I am like feeling.
yeah,
You
yeah.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm more impressed than I am like my spirit doesn't really like. My brain is impressed,
Yeah.
but my heart isn't.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
What
I
you're
feel
doing
that.
now is like my heart's impressed, and
Kind of resonates more, I guess.
yeah. So I really like what you're doing, and I hope
Oh,
that
yeah.
the fans go check out those links that we're gonna put below.
For sure.
Come check out some of your stuff. All right, man. So, Enshiloh, what's next for you, man? I know you're with La Familia Music Group.
Yeah.
What's next? You got some shows coming up? Are you working on that? Are you in
So,
that phase yet?
Yeah, we're working on shows. I know EQE has a show out in Colorado Springs. I might be going to that with him.
Okay.
It's a lowrider show, but we have that, and then
I might go to that show. Is that
Yeah,
July?
July.
It's in July though, right?
It's in July,
It's
yeah.
a big,
I don't
it's that
remember.
big one, huh?
Yeah,
a
it's
big
out in
one.
Colorado Springs, but he'll be performing at that, and I might be going out there with him.
That'd be cool.
And then again in July, I think the next weekend, we have a Cesar Chavez celebration here in
Okay.
town
Yeah.
that we're going to be performing at too. So you have
I'll
that.
be hosting that event.
Oh, yeah?
I'll be there.
Oh yeah, that's
So
what's
I'll,
up.
I'll holler at you for sure, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, we'll be at that, and then I think we got some things that we're looking into after that, getting lined up. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Chavez, the Cesar Chavez cultural day is
Yeah,
July
yeah.
17th.
July 17th,
That's
yes,
right.
sir.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll be at that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. So I'll definitely be looking forward to checking you guys out, man, for sure.
Very nice.
What about how do people get a hold of you? Plugs,
Uh,
social?
So it's pretty much Enshiloh on everything. I'm on Twitter, Instagram,
Will you
Facebook.
spell it for us?
It'll be Enshiloh,
Okay.
Enshiloh. And yeah, it's just Enshiloh on everything.
Cool.
So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that.
Okay.
All that stuff.
YouTube.
YouTube as well. Yep, it's under
Enshiloh.
Enshiloh.
That makes it easy, man. That's
Yes,
a
sir.
smart way to go about it, man.
Same on SoundCloud, all that.
They
Spotify.
say if you're confusing, you're losing. That's what they
Exactly.
say, and you got it all, man. All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, but before we leave, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this series of I've been doing it a little bit lately.
Yeah.
It's called the hot seat, and what
All
I
right.
do is I just ask you some questions,
Okay.
and then you spit back your answer. You can think about it a little bit, you know.
All right,
but
sounds good.
This is kind of a fun way to end out the interview.
Oh, yeah.
So, Enshiloh, let's find out what's going down. You are on the hot seat. Tell us, what is your favorite food?
Tacos.
Tacos, man.
Tacos. I'll just go
If
with
you
the
don't like tacos, I don't like you. I love it. I love it. All right, man. Type of rap music or style of rap music that you like, East Coast or West Coast?
Ooh. I don't know. I think I came up more on the West Coast stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm going to say West Coast.
West Coast.
Yeah.
A little bit more chill. Tortillas, corn or flour?
Ooh. I feel like that's a situational thing, but but I'll say flour. I like a good flour tortilla.
The homemade flour tortillas are always better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It has to be homemade.
I'm a corn tortilla guy myself, but flour
Yeah,
tortillas
bro.
are bomb.
If I'm in Mexico and they have a tortilleria right there,
Mhm.
corn tortillas for sure. But
Good ones, huh?
yeah.
All right, man. If you could collab with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Mac Miller, easy.
Mac Miller?
Easy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mac Miller, legend, man. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Chicken wings, flats or drumlets?
Flats. I'm gonna say flats.
I'm
I
a
don't
flat
know.
guy too, man.
I was gonna
Hell
say
yeah.
I don't know. It's just the technique of eating a flat. I don't know.
All right, man. Last question. If you had $1 million, what would be the first thing you buy?
Ooh, $1 million. Is this taxed or can I use it all? Just
All,
kidding.
no
I can
taxes.
use it all. All right.
'Cause this
I'd
is,
say
this is
I'd-
make-believe land. So
Yeah.
there's no
Okay.
taxes.
I'd buy a crib. I'd buy a crib for myself, and then just buy a bunch of studio equipment.
Nice.
Just, yeah. Make
Comfort,
sure my
yeah.
finances are good for like the rest of however long that lasts. So.
All right, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming, hanging out with Boom TV
Yeah,
and
of course.
Shiloh, man. Looking forward to seeing you and
Thank you.
seeing what you got coming around the corner.
Awesome.
And I'll put all the links in the description. You got to come out and check this cat's music out.
Oh yeah.
And keep an eye out, man. Good
All
to
right.
see you,
Awesome.
bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, yes.